This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Deceased Clarendon crash victims identified. The police have now released the identities of the two people killed in a crash in Osborne Store, Clarendon, Tuesday. They are Heather Grant, 33, of Kingston, Manchester, and a man known as Nigel Ambersley, whose address was not immediately obtained. Grant's husband, a police corporal, was badly injured in the crash and has been hospitalized in a serious condition. The crash happened about 1 p.m. The Four Paths police say Grant, her husband, Ambersley, and another woman were traveling in a Toyota Starlet when it collided with a Nissan Latio motorcar with one occupant on board. All 5 crash victims were taken to hospital, where Grant and Ambersley were pronounced dead. The other 3 were admitted. Woman attacks a female inspector with a stone at a police station. A female police inspector had to seek medical attention on Friday after she was reportedly assaulted and hit in the head with a stone by another woman. The dramatic incident took place in front of the Spanish Town police station in St. Catherine. Police have since launched a search for the woman who fled after the incident, the news has learned. It is believed that the woman is of unsound mind. Information reaching the news is that about 3 p.m., a little boy was seen walking across the entrance of the police station without the company of an adult. The police inquired about the parents of the little boy when the accused walked towards the child and hit him in the face. The inspector intervened and was spat at by the accused, who walked away. The accused is then alleged to have flung 2 stones at the police inspector, one of which hit her in the right side of her head and causing a wound. The cop was assisted to the Spanish Town Hospital, where she was treated and released. The incident drew several curious onlookers. Rage at KC as students barred over hairstyles. A parent has threatened legal action against Kingston College and the government if her son performs below par in upcoming external exams following the lockout of students in a grooming firestorm on Tuesday. Her child was among scores of students who were turned away in the morning after their hairstyles were deemed inappropriate for the classroom. The irate parent, who contacted the news about 7:30 a.m., said the stance is absurd. "My child has examinations next week. School just resumed on Monday after the Easter break. Why are they blocking my child and the other boys from their education?" said the mother, whose name is being withheld to protect the child's privacy. "This final week is very crucial. They will hear from my lawyers if my child performs poorly. I will take them to court, the ministry and the KC. Grooming rules are a recurrent cultural flashpoint in Jamaican schools, but hairstyles in particular are the source of the greatest contention. Some school leaders argue that a departure from the institutional rules creates an atmosphere of chaos and compromises notions of authority, but critics counter that administrators are guilty of micromanagement and mount roadblocks to education. The Education Ministry has issued broad guidelines, but schools have leeway for their own scope. Citing repeated Education Ministry directives that students should not be turned away on account of hairstyles, the parent questioned whether the North Street All-Boys School had gone rogue. "I follow rules and nothing is wrong with my son's hair and that of the other students I saw this morning. Is it that the principals don't respect their minister?" she said. A grade 11 student condemned the action as a foolishness, adding, "My hair trim and I can't go inside. If it no skull, it's a problem." Several parents returned for their children and demanded an explanation from the principal, Dave Mary. Repeated calls to his cell phone by the news were unsuccessful on Tuesday. State Minister Orlando Terrelong and the Minister without portfolio, Robert Morgan, have offered a robust criticism of Jamaican headmasters who shut students out of school for grooming infractions. Morgan was incensed on Tuesday at the treatment of a disabled student on crutches who was among those turned away. "We complain a lot about the young men pancana. Are we saying that your hair is a passport to access education? This doesn't sit well with me. Unless your black hair fits into a particular form, you can't be educated. The gangs on the corner don't have a hair requirement," he said in a tweet. Man admits to being sentenced 20 times for removing corpses from cemetery. A 63-year-old ex-convict shocked persons in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Monday after he revealed that he was sentenced 20 times for removing bodies from the cemetery. The accused, Donovan Butler, also told the court that he had just finished serving a 3-year prison sentence in April on the last time when he was charged. Butler made the startling revelation when he appeared in court on allegations that he tricked a man out of $7,000. He was remanded until June 15. The court heard that on July 9, 2019, the accused told the complainant that he was robbed of his motor car and his licensed firearm and needed assistance to go to the police station. The complainant agreed to assist, but while on the journey to the police station, Butler reportedly told the complainant not to bother take him to the station and instead borrowed $7,000 and disappeared. On April 4, the complainant spotted him and summoned the police. Subsequently, he was arrested and charged with larceny by trick. As soon as he walked into the prison dock on Monday, he was instantly recognized by Senior Parish Judge Lorian Cole Montague. "You come before me already, don't you?" she asked. "Yes, some time ago," Butler responded. She then asked him how many previous convictions he had. 20, ma'am, he replied. When she asked what were the type of offenses, Butler said, "For removing a corpse from the cemetery." "And what else?" the judge further asked. "That's it, ma'am," he said, while explaining that he had pleaded guilty 20 times to removing the bodies. During further dialogue with the judge, he told her that she was the one who had sentenced him to prison on the last occasion. But as it relates to the current case, he told her that it could not have been him, as he was in prison at the time the offense is said to have taken place. The complainant, however, was not present in court. As a result, Butler was remanded, and a mentioned date was scheduled for efforts to be made to have the complainant in court. Court forces dad to send back a child to U.S. A local businessman who had kept his son out of school since 2019, except for 2 months of summer classes, while reportedly pretending he was enrolled at the American International School of Kingston, was recently ordered by the Supreme Court to return the 10-year-old to his mother in the United States. The boy has since been reunited with his mother after he left the island earlier this month. The businessman had challenged the request for the boy's return on the basis that the child would be at a grave risk if he was to return to his mother. The boy was sent to live with his father for a year after a series of behavioral issues, resulting in him being suspended from school on a number of occasions. The parents' names are not disclosed here to preserve the child's privacy. In a recently published judgment, the mother, an American nurse, had said that a verbal agreement was made for the child to live with his father after a psychiatrist found that the absence of a male influence in his life may have been a behavioral trigger. However, after the mother found out that her son had not been attending school, she requested in April 2020 that he be returned to her, as academic attendance was one of the conditions on which he was sent to Jamaica. Reacting to the father's refusal, the mother filed an application in the U.S. in August 2021 for the return of the child under the Hague Convention. According to the mother, when she inquired about her son's schooling, his father sent her a receipt from the American International School of Kingston, but she later discovered that her son was never enrolled there. Consequently, the woman said she enrolled him in an overseas online program while the case was progressing, but the defendant prevented the child from engaging in the classes. The claimant also accused the defendant of demanding money from her on several occasions, even though one of the agreements was that he would be responsible for the child financially. She said the father had even demanded money for school. At the same time, the claimant indicated that she had voluntarily sent him money for the child's care on a number of occasions. She had also indicated that following her split from the defendant in 2017, she had cared for her son up to 2019 without any help from the father. But the businessman in his defense asked for his son to remain on the island, claiming he had settled in and that his aggressive tendencies would be rekindled if he was to be returned to his mother. While conceding that he had not enrolled the child in school, The businessman claimed he had not only made attempts to have him attend Hillel Academy, but had also homeschooled the child and had secured a tutor in February 2020. He, however, dismissed as untruth reports that he had sent the claimant receipts from American International School of Kingston. The father also challenged the claimant's report about being solely responsible for the child up to 2019, stating that he had given the mother money for childcare, although he had never honored the maintenance order as she had no need for that payout. Judge Lorna Shelley Williams, however, concluded that the defendant had failed to uphold his part of the agreement and ordered that the child be returned to his mother by April 13. I do not find that if the child is returned to the United States of America, he would be placed at grave risk, the judge ruled. Among the orders made were for the father to be provided with a psychiatrist report for the child every 6 months and to have telephone contact at least 5 times per week. Attorney at law Bianca Samuel represented the businessman. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.